Just imagine this. In 2025, all over social media, people are passing around names that sound so sweet. This country offers free residency. That country gives you permanent residency on day one. It sounds tempting, doesn't it? But is it really what we need? Because sometimes what we seek is not free, but a place where we feel safe, respected, and where our later years truly have value. You see, there's no shortage of sweet traps disguised as easy policies. But if that place has weak infrastructure, poor healthcare, or an unfriendly expat community, then does that free residency card still matter? Or in the end, will you be forced to leave, spending many times more just to find a place truly worth living in? That's why today we won't just look at glossy promises. We will go straight to the question, where is the place you can truly live, not just reside? If you care about the truth behind these flashy invitations, hit like to spread the message, leave a comment to share your perspective, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of our next journeys. Dream it, pack it, go. 5. Mexico, often fondly called the sunny backyard of Americans, has long been one of the most attractive retirement havens on the planet. And if you think that living here long-term means going through endless bureaucratic hurdles, waiting for years like applying for a U.S. green card, you'll be surprised. The Mexican government has a very clear residency system, where foreigners can choose between two paths: temporary residency, residente temporal, or permanent residency, residente permanente. Normally, retirees apply for temporary residency first, valid for up to 4 years, before switching to permanent status. But here's the special part. If you can prove a stable high income around 6,000, 7,000 USD month, you can jump straight to permanent residency right away with no intermediate stage required. With a lower level from 4,000, 4,500 USD month, or savings of about 180,000 USD, you still qualify for temporary residency. All applications are submitted at a Mexican consulate in the US, and processing takes only 1 week to 1 month. Once approved, you have 30 days after entry to finalize the paperwork and receive your residency card. A process far simpler compared to many other countries. And most importantly, you start enjoying nearly all the benefits of local citizens from day one. And those benefits are worth every penny. The cost of living in Mexico is so low that a couple can live comfortably on 2,500 USD month. In the inland highlands, a modern 2-bedroom apartment with a balcony costs just 750 USD month. If you prefer a more upscale lifestyle near the beach or in the heart of Mexico City, 1,500 USD is still enough for a spacious 100 square meter apartment. Food prices will make you smile. Avocados at 3.25 USD kg, mangoes at 2.17 USD kg, all much cheaper than in the US. A full lunch at a local eatery runs only 8 USD, and even a glamorous dinner rarely exceeds 20 USD per person. Utility bills are surprisingly low, about 20 USD per month if you live in a cooler region, with high-speed internet at 25, 40 USD month. Only if you choose to live in year-round hot climates with the air conditioner running 24/7 will electricity add another 100 USD. But in most areas, the weather is so pleasant that it's not a concern. One of the biggest reasons American retirees feel reassured in Mexico is healthcare. Mexico's public insurance system, IMSS, is open to foreign permanent residents for just 61.85 USD month, covering most services and medications for free. If you want something more upscale, you can purchase private insurance, ranging from 50-200 USD month, which grants access to renowned private hospitals such as Hospital Angeles or Star Medica. Mexico currently has 8 internationally accredited JCI hospitals, with many doctors trained in the US or Europe. The cost of medical care is also jaw-dropping. A heart bypass surgery costs only about 27,300 USD compared to 73,000 USD in the US, while a dental implant runs 650 USD instead of 3,400 USD. With a well-structured financial plan, you can retire and still maintain top-notch healthcare at less than half the cost. When it comes to safety and community, Mexico indeed has areas you should avoid, particularly in some border states where drug activity dominates. But the vast majority of places where foreigners choose to live, like Puerto Vallarta, Mérida, San Miguel de Allende, or Lake Chapala, are extremely safe, with crime rates even lower than many U.S. cities. Locals are warm, welcoming, and cheerful, often inviting you to dinner after just one meeting, and you'll never feel lonely, as thousands of American expats have been living here for decades, forming clubs, English-language magazines, and even American-style retirement associations like the American Legion by Lake Chapala. It truly feels like a second home, where you're welcomed as part of the community while still having fellow countrymen to share experiences with. Mexico also captivates with its diversity of nature and culture. Want white sand beaches? Cancun, Riviera Maya, or Puerto Vallarta will dazzle you. Prefer spring-like weather year-round? The Central Highlands, with towns like San Miguel de Allende, are the perfect choice. If culture is your passion, Mexico is a treasure trove of world heritage. The Teotihuacan Pyramids, the ancient city of Oaxaca, or the colorful Dia de Muertos festival. Life here is slower paced, with family and community always at the center. You'll see people chatting in the parks, kids playing soccer in the town square, and mariachi music filling the streets every weekend night. Take Richard, 67, who once struggled with bills that piled up like novels back in Texas, 300 USD electricity in summer, medical costs swallowing half his pension, and a lonely empty house that only deepened his sadness. With a pension of 2,200 USD month, he lived counting every penny before bed. Then, on a visit to Mérida to see a friend, Richard was stunned to find a spacious downtown apartment with a breezy balcony for just 550 USD month. Lunch out cost 5 USD, morning coffee 1 USD, and a specialist appointment just 45 USD. Laughing, he said in Texas, "That price would only buy you a single cough at the ER." Richard confessed, "Here, I feel like I'm living, not just surviving." Every morning, he goes to the market and buys mangoes, avocados, and bananas for the whole week, for less than 10 USD. In the afternoon, he rides his bike to the town square to chat with both locals and expats. Then in the evening takes salsa classes, before ending the day with a glass of tequila. He often jokes, "If I had known retirement could be this fun, I would have retired at 40. That said, Mexico is not a perfect paradise. There are a few drawbacks you need to be aware of. Some areas do have security issues. While popular retirement hubs are safe, the country's reputation for drugs and crime still worries many American families. In addition, if you don't speak Spanish, the first few weeks can feel a bit rough when shopping, handling administrative tasks, or chatting with neighbors. But looking at the bigger picture, low costs, good health care, a large expat community, pleasant climate, and rich culture, Mexico truly deserves to be a top choice for Americans who want to enjoy retirement without having to sell off their life savings. So what do you think? Would you be ready to trade those expensive bills in the US for a cozy apartment on the Mexican coast, waking up to the sound of waves and ending your evenings with cheap tacos? Leave your comment below. Hit like if you think Mexico is truly worth living in, and don't forget to subscribe to explore more countries that could hand you that Day 1 Freedom Residency card. 4. Key Panama, the golden gateway between two oceans. Have you ever wondered, is there a place in the world where, the moment you land at the airport, you're handed a permanent residency card like a golden ticket to retirement paradise? Panama is exactly that answer, one that leaves many Americans astonished. This small country, perched at the crossroads of two oceans, has a policy often described as a red carpet for foreigners. With its friendly nation's visa or pensionado program, Panama throws the door wide open to anyone who can prove a stable retirement income. In fact, once you have residency in Panama, you gain access to an incredible list of perks that seem almost too good to be true, up to 50% off domestic flights, 50% off medical services, 25% off phone bills, and even movie tickets at half price. Just think about it. In the US, you have to pinch every penny. While in Panama, the government actually encourages you to enjoy life. The cost of living in Panama is another big relief. Just about 1,500, 2,000 USD, month for two people, is enough for a comfortable lifestyle, with a modern two-bedroom apartment in Panama City costing 800, 1,200 USD, or much less in the surrounding areas. Food is abundant and cheap. You can buy fresh tropical mangoes, bananas, and avocados for less than half the price in the US. A meal at a local restaurant costs only 5 to 8 USD, while a fancy dinner rarely exceeds 25 USD per person. High-speed internet is around 40 USD. Month, utilities average 50-70 USD. In short, with even a modest retirement income, you'll still have plenty left over to enjoy life, without the constant stress of every bill being a nightmare. Like in the US, Panama also shines with its advanced healthcare system. Major hospitals in Panama City are modern, with many doctors trained in the US and Europe. Medical costs are 60-70% lower than in the US, while quality is comparable. Comprehensive private insurance starts from just 100, 200 USD month, and with the Pensionado program, you get even deeper discounts on many services. It's no wonder that many Americans choose Panama for surgeries or long-term treatments, saving money while still feeling confident about quality. When it comes to safety and community, Panama is one of the most stable and secure countries in Latin America. Crime rates in popular expat areas like Coronado, Boquete, and Bocas del Toro are extremely low. Panamanians are friendly, welcoming, and accustomed to foreigners. You'll feel at home quickly, especially with the large American expat community offering clubs, groups, and lively social events. Another huge bonus: Panama uses the US dollar as its official currency, meaning Americans don't have to worry about exchange rate fluctuations. Of course, Panama has a few minor drawbacks. Bureaucracy can sometimes be frustrating and requires patience, and the cost of living in Panama City is higher than in rural areas, which can put pressure on those relying only on the bare minimum retirement income. But compared to what you get back: financial perks, strong health care, year-round tropical climate, and political stability, Panama remains a true dream destination that many simply cannot ignore. Share your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if Panama surprised you. And don't forget to subscribe to explore more of these free retirement paradises around the world. Paraguay, the green heart of South America, feels like a secret someone accidentally dropped, only for American retirees to stumble upon it and exclaim, "So, a peaceful life doesn't have to be expensive after all." With just a passport in hand and a step into Asuncion, you can open the door to a whole new chapter of life. The residency process here is almost unbelievably simple. Submit a few basic documents. Wait 1-3 months for a 2-year temporary card, then move straight into permanent residency without needing to deposit thousands of dollars as before. For anyone with a steady pension of around 1,300 USD month, the paperwork feels like nothing more than a casual administrative stroll. And what surprises many even more is that with just a few years of patience, you can turn it into Paraguayan citizenship, complete with a passport that grants access to over 140 countries. A ticket that very few places in the world hand out so quickly. But what truly makes people breathe easier isn't the passport, it's the numbers. A couple can live comfortably on just 1,200 to 1,500 USD month, at costs nearly 65% lower than in the US. In the capital, 300 USD gets you a spacious 3-bedroom house with a garden and pool, something many middle-class Americans wouldn't even dare to dream of back home. At the market, 30 USD fills the fridge for a whole week. Dining out costs just 3-5 USD per meal, while even a rare fancy dinner seldom exceeds 15 USD. Utilities, electricity, water, internet, all fit neatly under 100 USD, except in the peak of summer when air conditioning runs non-stop. In a place where 300 USD in the US barely covers 2 months of electricity, that same amount in Paraguay buys you a full home with a sparkling pool. Healthcare here is also a mixed picture. Retirees are entitled to free public services, but most prefer private hospitals, where a specialist consultation costs only 30 USD. International private health insurance runs about 150-200 USD month, still far lighter than what Americans pay back home. It's true Paraguay isn't a hub of cutting-edge healthcare for major cases. You may need to fly to Brazil or Argentina. But for everyday needs, routine checkups, minor treatments, common medications, Paraguay remains a safe and sufficient option for seniors. What makes Paraguay truly unique isn't just the costs or the residency process, but its quiet humanity. Locals are gentle, welcoming, and carry a cultural trait that instantly makes you feel included. Tereré, a cold herbal tea shared from one gourd, passed hand to hand like a ritual of connection. You might arrive as a stranger, but the moment a neighbor offers you a sip of tereré, it means you've become family. And all of it is wrapped in a slow rhythm of life. No chaos, no heavy smog, only violet sunsets stretching across endless palm fields. Donna, a 62-year-old woman from Florida, once thought her retirement would be confined to a small apartment in the US. Yet after just a few weeks in Asunción, she found a spacious 3-bedroom house with a garden and pool, at a rent equal to nothing more than her electricity bill back home. Neighbors brought her vegetables, invited her to drink tereré, and showed her the cheapest way to the local market. "I never imagined retirement could be this sweet," Donna said. "I worked my whole life, only to realize that true happiness is as simple as an afternoon reading by the pool, while music drifts from a neighbor's house." Paraguay may not be the place for those seeking a fast-paced lifestyle, dazzling malls, or world-class cutting-edge healthcare. But for people who want a peaceful land, astonishingly low costs, kind-hearted communities, and a cup of cold tea passed from hand to hand at sunset, Paraguay is the answer. Write down all your thoughts below and let's discuss together. 2. Ecuador, the hidden gem of South America, the land of eternal spring. A place where an American can arrive with nothing more than a pension letter and almost immediately unlock the door to legal residency. Ecuador's Pensionado retirement visa has no age requirement. All you need is proof of a steady pension income of at least 1,410 USD per month, plus a bit more if a spouse comes along. The paperwork sounds complex, but is surprisingly straightforward. A visa application letter, proof of pension income, a clean criminal record, medical exam, and proof of health insurance, all submitted either at an Ecuadorian consulate in the US or directly in Quito or Cuenca. In just 4-8 weeks, you'll have a 2-year temporary residency visa with unlimited entries and exits. After 21 months of actually living in the country, you can apply for permanent residency, and after 5 years, Ecuador's citizenship doors open without demanding any additional financial burden. What makes Ecuador truly appealing is not only its easy residency policy, but the cost of living that makes any American breathe a sigh of relief. A couple can enjoy a comfortable lifestyle on just 1,500–1,800 USD a month. In Cuenca, the expat capital, a 2-bedroom apartment with mountain views, a spacious balcony, internet, and building fees costs only about 750 USD. An entire small house in Vilcabamba can be rented for just 500 USD. Seniors over 65 pay half on property taxes and utility bills, making housing expenses almost weightless. At the local market, just 1 USD gets you 3 creamy avocados or a pound of juicy strawberries. A traditional almuerzo lunch, with soup, main dish, drink, and dessert, is only 3 USD. Even a fancy dinner for 2 at an upscale restaurant, with wine included, costs just 70 USD, the same amount that might barely buy a single bottle of wine in the US. When it comes to transportation, Ecuador convinces many people to forget about owning a car. A city bus ticket is just 0.30 USD, with seniors paying half. Taxis cost only a few dollars per ride. For exploration, a 4-hour intercity bus ride is just 10 USD and only 5 USD if you're over 65. On top of that, seniors enjoy 50% discounts on domestic flights, event tickets, and even VAT refunds. Few countries show such respect for the elderly. Healthcare is another shining highlight. With just 95 USD month, a couple can join the public IESS insurance system, which covers most medical services. If you don't like waiting, private insurance is only 150 USD, or you can pay out of pocket. A doctor's visit costs 25 USD, and an MRI is just 200 USD, less than one-tenth the US price. Private hospitals like Hospital Metropolitano in Quito or Clínica Kennedy in Guayaquil are as modern as facilities in New York or Miami. Many Americans admit they actually receive better health care in Ecuador, at costs so low they can hardly believe it. Of course, no paradise is perfect. Paperwork can feel like running a marathon between government offices, and the Spanish language barrier is a real challenge if you want to live long-term with ease. But in exchange, you gain the warmth and friendliness of the people, the peace of mind that comes from not worrying about gun violence, and a thriving expat community, especially in Cuenca, fondly called the Little Arizona. Ecuador has been chosen by many Americans as a second home, low costs, clear policies, senior-friendly benefits, and above all, the feeling of living each day with more smiles than bills. What do you think about this country? Feel free to share all your thoughts. I'd really love to hear them. 1. Grenada, the hidden gem of the Caribbean. In Grenada, the residency process is neither complicated nor rushed. Americans get a 90-day visa-free stay, and if you want to extend, you can simply apply for more time. The real key to truly putting down roots here is 2 consecutive years of legal residence, a number that may sound long, but it's just enough time to try living, feeling, and even falling in love with the island before officially calling it home. After those 2 years, you can apply for permanent residency and stay for life. And for those who have the financial means, the Citizenship by Investment program turns that dream into reality in just a few months, a faster but more luxurious path. The cost of living is another reason many Americans sigh in relief. A couple can live comfortably on 1,800 to 2,500 USD, month, enough to rent an apartment near the beach, enjoy fresh seafood daily, and occasionally treat themselves to a fine dinner. Local produce is cheap and abundant, from mangoes and bananas to fresh-caught fish. Only imported goods and electricity tend to be a bit pricey, but really, are a few extra dollars each month worth worrying about when you've got turquoise waters right outside your door? Healthcare in Grenada offers just enough peace of mind. Public hospitals are free, and private clinics are fairly reliable. But for complex cases, most people fly to the US or Trinidad. That's why many expats opt for international health insurance, not just for reassurance, but for the knowledge that if needed, they can be on a plane immediately. What truly makes Grenada stand out isn't only policies or numbers, but its safety and friendliness. Crime is so low you may forget the American habit of double-locking your door. Locals are so welcoming that new neighbors often show up with mangoes from their garden. And when you join the Hash House Harriers Club or the vibrant Spicemas Festival, you'll see expats and locals blending seamlessly, dancing, singing, and celebrating to the rhythm of dazzling steel pan drums. Still, Grenada isn't a flawless paradise. A small island means fewer high-end conveniences, no giant shopping malls, no cutting-edge cardiac hospitals, no IMAX theaters. Life here leans towards simplicity, where entertainment is found in nature, outdoor activities, and community gatherings. That may feel like a drawback to those used to bustling city life, but for others, it's exactly the peace they've been searching for. You may realize one thing: whether it's the sunny beaches of Mexico, the green valleys of Paraguay, the Caribbean charm of Grenada, or the retirement haven of Panama, they all share the same truth. They don't give away residency for free out of leisure, but because they genuinely need you. And in return, you gain security, respect, and a brand new chapter of your life. Free residency isn't as important as finding a place where every single day feels worth living. So the real question is, will you stay in the US with endless bills, or dare to step out and find a new home where your heart truly feels at peace? Leave a comment, hit like, and subscribe, because your answer today might just open the door to your tomorrow.